welcome back to my channel, and today I'm doing my story time. So before I get started, I do want to mention that only one person has collected their prizes for the giveaway, so then if the person doesn't redeem their prize in 2 to 3 days, then I'm just going to choose the other people that were within the 4th place. If they were 5th place, 6th place in time and they still guessed it, then I'll choose them next, because if someone's not going to redeem their giveaway, then I can just give it to someone else. But it was really cool. I had some fun. I was playing to a friend and fellow subscriber of my YouTube channel. I really hope that the audio turned out well. That will be uploaded after this, hopefully. So yeah, those are one of the things that I'm going to do. So let's get started with my story time. So this story time is going to be about my second grade year. Okay, so there are a lot of things that I'm not going to mention. Like, I will mention some people's names, but I'm not going to mention like the school I went to or like the teachers' names or something. I'll just make up a fake name for them or something, but let's get started. Okay, so I went to my school when I was in second grade. I used to skip. Like, what my mom did was, I would never stay at a school, like one school for more than a year. I would always like switch schools every single year, and I had no idea why my mom did that. But one thing was just so that me and my sister can still be on the traditional school kind of record that we have now. Because I do live in California, and there's traditional, and there's, I forgot what the other type was. I think it was track, where it's like A, B, C, D, and there's like all year, but it goes like at least one track goes to school, and then there's one part when all of them do it. And that's how I used to do it. But when I changed schools, I was at this whole new school. All the friends that I had at my old school, I didn't even remember. None of them went there, and it was a whole new start. And what even sucked more was that I didn't change schools just in the beginning of the year. I did not change in the beginning of the year. I changed like a month in already, and I was getting used to my people that were in my classroom, and it was fun. And I got used to my teacher, and I got used to what the teacher was teaching us. And I just really liked the school that I used to go to. And then I went to this completely different elementary school. Again, I'm not gonna say its name, but I was introduced at first, like, even the teacher was surprised that I was in that class, because I literally got enrolled to that school literally same exact day. That's also what's going to happen to me in 6th grade. Eventually I'll bring up the 6th grade story, but the same thing happens to me in 6th grade, of what happens to me in 2nd grade. So I just get added in, and then the teacher has, like, no time to introduce me. It was, like, during recess already. It wasn't before. So my teacher, she took me and wanted to go introduce me to some of the students that were in the class, and she introduced me to these two girls. One girl was named Maya, one girl was named Chloe. They were really good people. Like, they seemed like really good people. They were funny, they talked a lot, and they were also best friends. And they introduced me, and it was pretty simple. They showed me to what they were doing, and before then, before my school got an upgrade and didn't have, and then got a whole play set, we used to have a sandbox, and the sandbox, there was a sandbox, swings, and a small jungle gym, and that was pretty much it. And all those girls, all those two girls would do, Maya and Chloe, with some of their other friends. They would just literally stand there and talk, like by the tree. Like, they wouldn't do anything too much, and I wasn't really interested. For the most part, in the beginning, I thought they were very boring. So I went to look around on my own, and then I saw these people. They were standing alone, and there was this guy. His name was Jeremy, and there was this one girl named Bianca, and they were just standing there. It looks like they were waiting for somebody. And I went up to them, and they were just leaning on a tree. They were looking around. They looked confused. They were kind of scared. And then I introduced myself. I introduced myself to Jeremy first, and then I introduced myself to the other girl, Bianca. And I say hi. It was very weird, because like, it was just hello, hi, my name's this, his name's this, and it was like, want to be friends, and it was just like, yeah, and then boom, friendship. Like, that went quick. Like, I guess when it happened in elementary school, you can just say hello, boom, friends. I guess that's just how it worked back then. So then I got to know him, and then we started talking. And then this one guy comes here, like, he sees them, his friends, he smiles at them, says hi to them, and then he looks at me, and then he gives me this look, like, why are you here? Like, who said you can be here? Like, it's that kind of look that I would give nowadays to, like, a best friend's friend who's just like, they just join and interrupt my conversation that I was having with them, and then I give them that look. It's just like, why are you here? So then that guy, his name was Jacob, he gave me that look. He was just like, "Why are you here?" Like, and then I'm just like, "Oh, hi, my name's Francisco. Nice to meet you." And then like he was all like get away, like leave my friends alone. He's like, "Just so you know, these are my best friends, and they'll always be my best friends, and I can only and they will be, and their best friend space is already taken." I'm just like, okay. And then I'm like, "It's fine by me. I just want to make some friends. I'm new here." And then I'm like, "I'm going to be in your class." And it was a gate class. It was just a simple gate class. It didn't have a lot of students. Students left that classroom over time. And eventually, like, I became really good friends with Bianca and Jeremy since they both like to game. Except the kid named Jeremy, he had a very what's it called? Sophisticated family. Sophisticated is an easier way to put it and a nicer way to put it. Like, they wanted him to be Einstein. They wanted him to be a genius. Like, they made sure that he didn't have TV. Like, he's never seen TV in like his life. He only saw it when he was like real young. And then he didn't have TV anymore because they just got rid of cable. That way their child can just read all day. You know. And they were really nice people. Jeremy, for the most part, you can talk to him about anything. But at sometimes he can be quiet too. But Bianca, like, I don't know, she was more of a tomboy. She liked to game. She was always talkative, very energetic. It was much like me. And then I liked her. I liked her all year, but I never really brought up anything. I always kept it to myself. I don't know why. Why I'm still that type of person today where if I like somebody, I'm not big about it. Like I probably don't even tell anyone. I just keep it to myself. Because what I learned from my first grade, when I was in first grade, at my other school, was that don't tell anybody that you like someone. They always tell people. That's what I learned. Because like in first grade, I liked this girl named Cecilia, and I told my friend, and then they couldn't hold the secret. Like, you know how long they held it for? 1 minute. And they were like, "Cecilia, Francisco likes you." And then you know how back then, in first grade and like in kindergarten, they'd be like, "You guys, cooties," that whole thing girls would do, and the whole thing guys would do, with the whole girls having cooties as well. I really don't know what was the point in all that, but yeah, that's what happened. Then I learned, I just like, don't trust anyone. Don't tell anyone who you like. They're just gonna tell them. I did learn that because I was a smart little kid. I was in a gate class, and I had fun with all the subjects, and all the subjects were easy to me. Now the subjects of math, like I'm really good at every subject nowadays except for math. Like I'm terrible at math. And like my number one fear in middle school is not getting bullied. Like I've never been bullied, but it's math. But anyway, back to the story. So just so you guys know, I'm just gonna go over like a summary of my whole second grade year. So I went to CAPS. I got enrolled in CAPS, and I got all the benefits that you can get. Like all the benefits you can just name right off the back. I got them. And I always would go to CAPS with my friends. And Jacob, he would rarely show up to CAPS. And because I got more time to hang out with Bianca and Jeremy and stuff. And they were Jacob's best friends at the time. And Jacob, he said, like, the message he kind of told me was like, they're his best friends, and I gotta back off. That's pretty much what he told me in second grade. And I didn't know what was his deal with, like, you can only have one best friend, even though he clearly had two best friends. And his two friends were also best friends. I guess he just didn't want me in the way. Because he didn't have too many friends, and he thought he was like the strongest man on earth. Like he thought he was Hulk. He thought he was powerful, and no one could defeat him. Now, I never personally got bullied by anyone. I mean, I guess you can say that I was bullied by Jacob. You can only have these few best friends, or whatever. If he would call me like hippo or elephant, because I was a big little boy and I ate a lot as a little boy. Now I eat less, but I made a couple changes in my life now compared to when I was in second grade. In second grade, I didn't care. Just like I didn't care. Eat as much as you want. Like life is like live life to the fullest. Hashtag YOLO. But that's how I saw it in second grade. Like it was a lot of rude awakenings. Okay, so then I guess Jacob, well, I don't know what he would do. He had this thing he called a club, which in my opinion is just people that are afraid that he'll hurt them because apparently it wasn't just those two people. He just always talked to Jeremy and Bianca more. but he would always talk to other people, and he would look at them, and then he would always make them afraid of them. He'd always threaten them that like they would have to be his friends, and they would be afraid of like they would never make their own choice. They would always be afraid of what Jacob would say to them. They were always afraid that he would hurt them for some reason. And so I saw Bianca and Jeremy introduced me to this whole group that he had. He was the leader of it, and he was the best, and no one else was as good as he was. Even though all they did was stand around the tree and talk. And I don't know why, but Jacob had the tendency to hit his friend with a stick, because it was so sad, because I found out that like in 5th grade they turned the tree down, which was good, because that tree had a lot of bad past, but like I just felt, like my 2nd grade was here. Like my 2nd grade revolved around a lot of this. And then, I was becoming good friends with them, and then Jacob threatened me that I could not be their best friend, that I need to stop being their friend. And I said, heck no. I didn't tell him. I said, no, I'm not. I'm gonna keep on doing it. Like I was a fearless little second grader, because even till today, like if there's somebody bigger than me, I normally aren't afraid of them. Just like whatever. I don't know. I had guts. I have less guts now that I'm growing up. But so he would hit his friends with like a stick he got from the tree if they said something mean that offended him or something. And the thing is, they wouldn't care, because I guess he would always do this all the time. Like in 1st grade, he must have done the same thing, and in kindergarten it must have been similar. But at the school that I went to at the time, kindergarten was just kept in a small little area, and there was only like 1 or 2 classes for kindergarten. And then they were just all used to how he would treat them, and they were like zombies. Like if he had to say something to them, they would just be so, I don't know how you would call it, soulless. Like they wouldn't have a choice for anything. Jacob would always call the shots. He would treat them terribly. And I got to know more people. I got to know this guy named Brian, who came out to be a really nice person. And it was funny because he was a lot like Bianca. They would talk a lot, and he happened to be one of Bianca's best friends. They would always chat. I always talk about Minecraft. Minecraft was coming new. Wait, no, that was before Minecraft. They would always talk about these other little pixelized games and how good they were, and I always wanted to try them out. And I was interested. They were very fun people, and they liked to role play in real life. Like they liked to pretend this was here and that was there, and it was really fun. I played with them whenever Jeremy wouldn't show up because he was a bus rider, and he always showed up to I was gonna say arcade, the outside late. He would always show up late. I don't even know what it's called anymore, to the playground late. He would always show up late. So I just hung out with them until we all got to meet up and talk. And they were nice people, but the thing is, Brian was always hit the most, because like sometimes he got over his boundaries to Jacob, I guess, and he would hit him. And I saw that from a distance. And like the year just progressed, and then I just made up my own decision. I'm like, this has to stop. I need to ask these people, because it's not. I told my mom about it. She said it wasn't right, and I should tell the teacher about it, and all this. And it was crazy. Like it was all sorts of wrong. And then I met this guy named Emmanuel. He was a good person. He didn't hang out with them. He was kind of like an outcast, an outsider. And he told me everything that he's witnessed from kindergarten, being with them. And I'm like, that's terrible. And he's like, yeah, it is. And I really don't know where could get these ideas until I found out that Jacob's dad was so abusive to him, and he just followed what his father would do, since he wanted control. At school he wanted to feel like he was the leader of something, but at school, that's how he wanted to feel. I realized that, and I didn't realize that too long ago actually too, that was why he did it. But I met a bunch of new people. I forgot their names. I think there was someone named Alyssa, who liked Jacob at the time, and they would always fight and argue. And me and Jacob, we were always frenemies. We were like, I ended up, I'm like, you know what? Just ignore him when he says you can't be their best friends. Ignore him, I guess. But best friends were a big deal in 2nd grade. And I ignored him. We were like frenemies. Like some days Jacob was nice to me. Some days Jacob was mean to me. That's just how it was. And I just got used to it. Sometimes I would say mean things about Jacob if he were to say something mean about me. And it would just be very messed up. And then One day, I met this girl named Aleda. She was the most popular girl in second grade. She had so many friends, literally the entire sandbox. Those who went on the swings, which were like, let's say, 12 people, and those who would play those who would top into the tree with like Maya and Chloe, they were their friends and stuff like that. And Aleda was just really popular. Like everyone would talk to her. She'd be friends with everyone. And I told her about what was going on and that you can only have one best friend to Jacob, and she believed that was wrong too, and she told her friends about it. So in order to get help, because we tried telling the teachers, they didn't really care. They didn't do anything about it. That's what really happened in elementary school, where teachers wouldn't take action for anything unless it was like a favorite student or if they actually cared. Some teachers just didn't care. Like I had my second teacher, she didn't care at all. Um, she didn't care at all about what the students told her. She'd just go on doing her business. I'm not gonna say her name because I'm still in the same district, and I could probably get her fired. And she didn't really care. She didn't care at all. Let me get to the part where me and Aleda started gathering a group. So we made a group of people who just hated Jacob and who Jacob has done wrongdoings to before in the past. And that happened to be a big majority. Like he was mean to so many people, and the people that were in his club were the people that were his friends, and everybody else that weren't in his club were, I assume, people that just didn't like him. So Elliot got her friends to come over there, and it was been weeks when we were planning this out. And then I told Jacob this has to stop. And then he wanted to fight me, he wanted to kick me, and then I grabbed his leg. I like almost twisted it, but didn't hurt him. Like I flipped him over, and he fell on the floor. He was covered in some dirt. And the bell rang, and like I was just a second grader, so the teacher didn't really get me in trouble. Because there's always these little aides out there walking, like, don't do this, don't do that, no running on the grass, because you can hurt yourself. Like, that's how bad it was. Like, the teachers make a big deal about everything, and because they just didn't want to deal with the parents complaining about their children's safety. So, just whenever something violated the safety, the teachers were just there to be a huge bore about it. Yeah, so the teacher just said, hey, don't grab him by the leg. What if he broke his leg? What would you do? What if he's seriously injured? She's like, don't do that again. She's like, okay, whatever. Like, I didn't tell him that. She's like, okay. And, like, he was like, he was making a big deal about it until we got in class. Like, he didn't want the teacher to get him caught. Because, like, I guess he somehow knew. Because we were a gay class. We were all really smart students. I guess he somehow knew where if he got hurt, and like the teacher explained how did he get hurt and why did I do it if I were to get in trouble. I guess he realized that somehow he would get in trouble as well. So he never brought it up. He was just covered in dirt, and the teacher completely ignored it. Like she saw it, like she can probably look at him for a few seconds, like or check him out completely up and down. She probably wouldn't notice the difference at all. And I cheated one time in that class. It was a math test. No, it wasn't a math test. It was like a 60-second thing where you did answer as many addition or subtraction problems. Except it was like on a test, and then what I did was she gave me, I believe it was, wait, what was it? Oh yeah, I got a really bad grade. It completely bombed the test. It was like 10 out of 100, and then I just added another 0 to it, and then she noticed what I did because it wasn't like in my writing. It wasn't really in hers at all, and then she got me in trouble for it. Like really, I didn't get in trouble at all. She was just like, "Don't do it again," like yelling at me. Like she just yelled. She yelled at the students all the time. That was her only punishment, really, just yell. But if it was like something like where students dirty or if they're injured or something, she didn't care. Like she didn't really notice at all. So he was covered in dirt and his leg hurt, and he was walking with a limp for like the rest of the day. The next day he came back normal, and then he wanted to fight me again. I'm like, you know what? We're gonna have a war. I told him, I had these people, because I saw this TV show and inspired me to say war. And like, I had these people, and your people are gonna fight because you can't treat them this way anymore. And he was like, okay. So the next day, me and Aleda, we talked about it. She got like all of her friends from the sandbox, and there were like honestly 50 plus people that she talked to. They were all there. They came out at Jacob's friends. The only people that had Jacob's friends that actually had guts to fight him were like 2 other kids, and that was it. Everybody else ran their way, and then Jacob was kicked, and he was stepped on. Someone punched him in the eye, I believe, and like he had a black eye. He was crying. Teacher never noticed one thing. And he was like, you'll pay for what you've done. I'll never forgive you. look what they did to my eye. He's like, it hurt really bad, and all this and this and that. And he said that he hates me, and that one day he'll get revenge on me. And the rest of the year, I only chatted to them. I'm like, you know what? You guys gotta stop being Jacob's friends. It's not the same anymore. You guys saw what happened to him because he's so mean to you guys, and he would hit him. So they understood me, and they were like, yes, you're right. Jeremy, Bianca, all those people. We stopped talking to him. He was an outcast, and he was sad that nobody would listen to him, and that so many bad things were talked about him. And at the end, I understand having an amazing year with just Bianca, Brian, and Jeremy. That's just how it was for the rest of the year, and it was really fun, and it was really good. So that's the end of my story time. If you guys like my story, please remember to leave a like and comment what you thought about it. My next story time will be next Tuesday, and it'll be my 3rd grade year, and my 3rd grade year was messed up. It was terrible. But I'll tell you guys that on another time. So thank you everyone for watching this video. Have an amazing day. Goodbye.